Was about 20 years old at the time when we first opened the show. I started riding under the head trainer at the time, and they developed me. I was exposed to trainers like we are to this day. We bring trainers in from France, and we have a place where the knowledge comes to, and thanks to Arabian Nights, I took what I knew from the circus and developed it into skills. I would say my first love is always the circus bareback riding.
All right, in the circus ring curb, what you're seeing now is Jim, a Percheron gelding, which we brought from Indiana, whose original job was plowing on a farm, but we brought him here and turned him into a circus bareback horse. In the ring is Leah and our primary bareback rider, Ricky Suarez, who comes from a very famous circus family of bareback riders. He grew up in the circus and basically grew up on the back of a horse. And we're very proud to have him here at Arabian Nights. In the tradition of Arabian Nights, we have the best of the best. And Ricky has performed all over the world and is now featured here at Arabian Nights. It is almost like a ballet on the back of a horse. But the training that goes into this is quite intricate. It looks easy, but every time we put someone on the back of the horse who'd like to try it finds out it's a little bit harder than it looks.
Laura, why do we have the pad on the back of the horse?
The pad is to protect the back of the horse, his kidneys, his backbone. It also enables the rider to have a little bit more space. Shoes on material versus shoes on hair. And it is a lot more comfortable with the horse. Here at Arabian Nights, performing nightly, we want to ensure the horse's safety and comfort. Now Ricky is going to perform what is one of the most difficult feats in the Rosenbach riding, and that is a somersault on the back of a galloping horse. Expertly done, as he does nightly at Arabian Nights. This is how we train the new riders, and also during our practices, even Ricky wears the mechanic. It's just in case something happens. As you just saw, he did a pirouette and sort of flew to the outside.
Well, of course, the person running the horse is also another very important person in this act. I know people think that it's just anybody out there, but you'll notice nightly it's always one of our members of senior staff who's actually running the horse.
It is very important. The horse has to remain steady. Consistency in their gaits is very important, because if the horse changes speeds, of course, slowing down would throw the rider forward, speeding up would throw the rider off the back. The horses are trained to gallop in a very consistent gait. Liz is now in the beginning stages, learning to go from the sitting position up to her knees and riding on her knees. She's going to put her outside foot up on the horse. Her shoulder must be inside the circle. Now this is, you see how she's using the mechanic as a safety?
Uh-huh. Oh.
She does very well. We're very proud of her.
I know she's a very coordinated lady.
She's very coordinated.
Watch her look a little silly up there. It makes you realize just how difficult this is.
Some trainers come and their real expertise is in training our horses, and they may take a horse that's been in the show for 8 or 10 years and find a way to make him perform his job a little more easily and to communicate our desires with him more directly and more comfortably, so that the horse has the ability to stay in the show and be comfortable in his work day in and day out and year in and year out. But other trainers are better at teaching our riders, because as we get in a new crop of riders, we have to teach them the system that works for the horses at Arabian Nights. They may have a lot of experience in riding before they are hired here, but if their system is different, then within 2 weeks their horse will be confused and not clear on what it is they're being asked to do. So every rider, even though they may have 5, 10, 15 years experience before they come here, really have to go back to the basics and learn our system, because our horses may have 2 or 3 riders in a night, 3 or 4 riders in a week, 15 or 20 riders in a year. So all those riders have to be consistent. And this is probably the most difficult aspect of the show at Arabian Nights in its 12-year history, is not only the horses have to perform pretty much on a daily basis, but our riders have to meld into the system that is developed here and that works for the horses, because always it is the horse first. He has to be comfortable in his work, he has to be clear in his work, and for a horse, if you ask him to do a job today that is comfortable and that he's capable of doing, and then you ask him again tomorrow, he says, this is a good day, I'm very clear, I know what my job is and I know how to do my job, and this makes me a happy horse.
It's very hard, especially when you do a performance all the time, to have that constant consistency and feeling in an act. And every single night I do this act and I love it. I love the way it feels, the music, the smoke, the horse. It's wonderful. And I get feedback from the audience saying the same thing. Wow, we really enjoyed watching that. You looked like you were one with the horse. And I'm not acting. I really feel that. I go out there and I enjoy it. I love it. It's beautiful. And it makes me feel beautiful to do it.